Hi crafty friends, welcome back to our Christmas in July YouTube hop sponsored by Beck of Beck's Crafting World 2 here on YouTube and Leslie of Mermaid Cove Studio. So I am one of 15 very crafty ladies who are participating in this YouTube hop, and each week we're coming on at 9 a.m. on Saturday during the month of July to share with you different ideas for Christmas crafting to get ahead of the game and to inspire you. So this week's theme is tags and creative packaging. Last week's theme was cards, and I shared some creative packaging with you as well. I did have a hidden giveaway at the end of my video last week, and I am closing comments for that. So I will be drawing that and we'll post it in the community tab on YouTube Sunday the 13th. So look for that. Let me get into what I've done here today. I'm going to share with you some creative packaging and a very unique tag that I like to make. So I just want to show you that you can take everyday items from your house, recycle them, and make them some really fun packaging. I love, love, love taking a box, a gift box, something that something came in, a gift or packaging for something you ordered on Amazon or wherever, and you can make it into some really beautiful gift packaging. So this is a gift box, and I didn't even really have to do a whole lot to it because its colors were fabulous and went with my paper collection. I'm sticking with my Minte White Christmas paper collection, trying to use up the last little bits of what I had in my stash. Again, I bought nothing for this project. This is using things that I've hoarded, possibly, from Dollar Tree or the ends of paper collections, whatever. So let me show you what I did here. There's actually two different ways you could go with this. I love to let these beautiful papers that we hoard do the talking and do most of the work. So here I've taken this, it's approximately 5 by 9 box, and measured it and cut a piece of patterned paper, glued it down, and I also made a belly band. I wasn't sure if I was going to use the belly band or not. I'm still not 100% sure. The paper is gorgeous all on its own, and I could just make some really fun embellishments or use some of my, cut aparts that came in this collection to adorn it. And then I could really go hog wild putting, gemmies and sequins and sprigs and homemade flowers on this and make it really three-dimensional. But if I want to use a belly band, I can't do any of that. It needs to be super flat so that this belly band can easily slide on and off. But here you go. Just in a few minutes, I took a gift box, stuck a piece of patterned paper to it, and made beautiful gift packaging for the tags that I'm going to share with you. And this is a super heavy duty box. I will take something and cover the bottom words down here as well, piece of ephemera or something. I'm not quite finished, but you can see how that goes. And if I wasn't in such a rush, I would have probably inked the edge of this piece of paper before gluing it down as well. In the meantime, to make this belly band, literally a minute. This is just a piece of cardstock that I've cut at 2 inches. And this is a piece of ephemera that comes in the tags ephemera package for Minte. These are the paper die cuts, but they also have another type of ephemera that you could purchase, and it's called tags and tickets, I think. I don't have any of that left. So I used this circle. I cut, again, this is the only die cutting that I did. I cut this 25 out using some number dies in my stash and pop them up on foam. And again, letting this do the talking. I may go back in and, you know, put some Nuvo dots or sequins or something on here to make it have a little sparkle. But this is my creative packaging for my tags. And you may be saying to yourself, well, that's a huge box. But I've made some very big tags. And I'm going to show you what they look like. And then I'm going to show you how to do it on a much smaller scale. So I've made some wooden tags. So these could really be home decor, or you could put these on a large package. They're just super pretty. This is something that I bought at the Dollar Tree. It's just a wooden tag, and it is 4x8 in size. So this is a really big surface area to cover. So I put a heavy patterned paper in the back. I used some trim from my stash. I used a wooden, I guess you'd call that an embellishment. It's like a wooden cutout from Michael's, and I painted it and glittered it. It's actually a Santa head. And then used a piece of the chipboard and just layered it up. I took a homemade flower, some ephemera, and again, another one of these wooden pieces. This one is from Dollar Tree. And, you know, just filled the space up. And I think it looks really cute. It was super quick. Then I put some shabby velvet ribbon through the top and tied it with some twine. I did cover the back as well with a patterned paper and put some trim on it. So how did I get this patterned paper on here, you're wondering? You can glue it. You can just literally put this tag down on a piece of paper, trace it, and trace the hole and use a hole punch, of course, and glue it on. I used Mod Podge. So good old Mod Podge. I have a history with Mod Podge. My first crafty endeavor was decoupage art, and I decoupaged clamshells and oyster shells for tree ornaments and trinket dishes, and a friend of mine and myself would sell them at craft fairs. Well, everybody loved our stuff and everybody started doing it, and that kind of went to the wayside, and I got back into my paper crafting. So that's how I ended up back here. But so I do enjoy decoupaging, and if you have a very intricate shape, the Mod Podge over the glue is the way to go, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. But so this paper is Mod Podged on there, but I did not put a layer of Mod Podge on top of the paper. So I'm just going to share the other tag with you, and then I'll show you how I applied that paper. So this is my other large gift tag. Like I said, this could be home decor. You could hang this as a piece of home decor or use it on a package. I'm going to gift them in that beautiful recycled gift box that I've created. So again, here I used a piece of patterned paper and a piece of ephemera that's all popped up on foam. I let the bird peek through in the background. This is a wreath. I used another wooden cut apart that I painted and glittered, and just kept layering things up. Gemmies, sequins, another piece of ephemera, this cute deer, this ribbon, and this is a snowflake back there that I put a Christmas ball on, and again used another piece of velvet ribbon and some twine, and the back is finished in a patterned paper as well. So that's my second large tag. You may notice that the sides are inked. I find that just makes the edge of the paper look nicer, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So that's the second large tag. And then I found these smaller wooden tags. I believe I got these at Walmart, and did the same exact thing. So you start with your plain wooden tag. I painted mine white. I don't think it's necessary if you're going to use paper. If you use a cocktail napkin and decoupage cocktail napkin on there, you should paint it white, because you will have some of the color of the surface you're decoupaging show through. So I painted it white, and then I put a layer of Mod Podge on with a sponge brush and let it dry, okay? Then I find a piece of patterned paper that I want to use. I'm going to use this red paper for the back of this, and I'm going to trace it using 2 of the straight edges so I don't have to do that much cutting. Literally just take a pencil, trace it, and then I'm going to cut that out. And I will do that real quick just so you can see how it turns out. And you don't have to be real fussy and exact, and I'll show you why that doesn't matter. Okay, so that's did not mark. I have to redraw this piece right here. Okay. So now that you have that cut, you're going to lay this on here. And again, it's not real exact, and it doesn't matter. I did do a really sloppy job of this. I would do a better job trying to get all these edges to line up. Then you're going to take an iron and a piece of paper, just regular copy paper works. If you happen to have one of those Teflon sheets that people use with their Cricut for heat transfer vinyl, you could put that between it, and you're going to iron it. And what that does is it literally reactivates the Mod Podge as active glue and adheres the paper to the wooden tag. If you've ever seen those wood slices that you can get at Christmas time that are sold as, DIY ornaments in Michael's and other craft stores, this technique works on that as well. So after you've adhered that, you can go back and, trim up the edges if there's anything like blatantly hanging over. Okay, I didn't adhere that, so I'm just kind of showing you. And then after you've done that, you're going to take like a little piece of sandpaper, sanding disc, an emery board or whatever, and you're going to, just get those edges in line with the piece of wood. Okay, I'm going to show you on the side I've already adhered, and I'm going to take that piece off. By the way, if you want the holes to line up, you can just mark it with pencil before you adhere it. Use a hole punch. I don't always do that. This is my cheater's method. All right, this is not lining up great, but I literally just use a pokey tool. There you go. So, whoops. That's how I made my hole. Easy cheesy. And then iron it down. Okay, so you get the idea there. So after you've sanded the edges and you're happy with how that lined up and it looks good, I take a little distress ink. This one is a vintage photo, and I'm going to ink the edges just so it looks finished. This might be a little dark for this lighter colored paper, but it doesn't bother me. If you don't like that vintagey look, then you don't even have to do this step, or you could use white paint if you wanted. So there you go. So pretend that back is finished, and then guess what? Then it's super easy. We're just going to decorate. So I'm going to take this piece of ephemera, and I've already gone to the trouble of putting on some of the Dollar Tree foam tape. And we're going to just start layering things on there. And before you know it, you're going to have a beautiful tag. So these are those same sentiment strips that I talked about in last week's Christmas in July video. This is a cut apart sentiment sheet made by Minte called Minte Basics. And you just literally cut them off, and I cut a little tail into the end, backed it on a piece of cardstock. Like here, I can show you with another one. I don't like that sentiment. I never like Xmas. It bothers me. I will not use that. But this is just for showing you. We could use Santa's here. That would sit better with me. You know, I'm going to cut these before I glue that on a backing. You don't even have to back it. So this is how I cut my tails, from the corner and done. It's called a fishtail, I believe. It just looks a little nicer than just the straight edge. I mean, if you prefer the straight edge, I'm not a really good straight cutter, so I like it to look a little more rustic. And then you're gonna adhere it to whatever paper you want in the background. Maybe you wanna put green on there. And then do the same thing and cut the tails. And then look, then you can adhere that with a little foam tape behind it. And bang, you've got a card. Put some sequins as the centers, or jemmies as the centers of these flowers, and you have a beautiful, tag, wooden tag. And this will have a pretty back when you're all done. And then you can just put a piece of ribbon or twine through it, and there you have it. So I have a couple of others that I made very quickly. I put a flower that I made, a poinsettia. This one has this background. This one has my favorite deer. And I didn't like what was down on the patterned paper there, so I just covered it up with a piece of ephemera that I popped up on some foam tape. And then we have a Santa. And again, I can cut out some of these little sentiments and put them on there if I want, and then put some ribbon on them or put them through a ring and include them in my gift box. So there you have some very unique wooden decoupaged gift tags that you can gift or use during holiday season. If you gift them, you can use your unique packaging that you created from recycled gift box. You can also buy some really nice boxes at the Dollar Tree and just cover up some of the, they're not always the greatest, but there you go. So there you have it. That was this week's share, tags, and creative packaging. I hope I did a good job explaining how I did that. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or pop your question in your comment down below. And just like last week, I am going to have a giveaway. You do need to be in the United States. I didn't mention that in the last week, so I let that slide. And you need to be a visible subscriber. I did have some people enter that were not subscribers. And this week, I'm going to have you put a red heart in your comment if you would like to be entered to win this set of wooden tags. They will be finished. Everything will be really pretty and put together nicely, and I will send these to you at my expense. So I do hope you guys will check out the links that are in my description box below and see what everybody that's participating in the YouTube Hop has created this week. And we'll tune in again next week to see our next Christmas inspiration. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you want to be entered into my giveaway, don't forget to leave your red heart. Have a crafty day.